Steve Sarkisian, guys, had to include him on this list in my personal opinion because of the job that he's done at Texas. When you have Kirk Herbstreit, when you have the national powers calling out a program and not only saying that it's hard to win there, but calling it a toxic environment and actively steering coaching candidates away from the 40 acres, to me, that says that you're doing a pretty good job instilling a confidence, a culture, and actually taking talent and developing it. Now, does Sarkeesian have the most resources maybe out of anybody on this list? Absolutely. I will give you that, right? If you're going to say that Ryan Day was born on third base, honestly, I think you have to say that a little bit about Steve Sarkeesian. Just let's just call a spade, right? There is nothing that he asks for that gets turned down at the 40 acres. And yet, that didn't mean that anyone else that came before him was winning football games. I mean, everybody after Mac Brown found one excuse after another, another way to lose easy football games. And Sarkeesian has come along. Not only has he actually gotten the most out of the talent that's in Austin, which they've never had a talent problem, but he's also instilling a toughness, a nature where they are committed to finishing football games. I think the trajectory of the Texas Longhorns is nothing but up. And as someone who went to the school in College Station, pains me to say that, right? I'm not excited necessarily about what I think the results could be on the field in Kyle Field this November. So I think to flip the momentum in the Lone Star State on its head, where the Aggies had it all after COVID, sure, Orange Bowl, playoff favorite, even a national title favorite on some boards, and to completely flip that, take over the Lone Star State, it's certainly up in the DFW Metroplex, and now they are the perennial team in the state. That in and of itself is extremely impressive, let alone what he's done to obviously get that team back to a playoff contention. So I had to give Sarkeesian a nod there. I think, obviously there's a reason why these topics are debated on sports shows, right? There's no right answer. Leipold, Whittingham, I love their inclusion on these lists. Interesting names down that board as well for Bruce Feldman. I think of Hugh Freeze, Jed Fish appearing on the list. Jonathan Smith at Michigan State getting a little love, number 22 on that list. I'm excited to see what he can do up there for the Spartans in East Lansing. I talk about a dumpster fire that he's taken over.
So one quick thing on Sark, and I do have him in my honorable mentions, but he will slide all the way up my board next year if he does it again. That's kind of my
Yep.
only thing that I want to see.
Yeah.
We saw Texas beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, and they're back and everything else. We were all convinced, right? Everyone's convinced Texas is back and everything's perfect again, and then it wasn't. And because it's hard to win anywhere you are. It's hard to win, especially now if you're at Texas and you're moving into the SEC. That's going to be tricky. And if he goes out here and he goes and wins 10 or 11 games and makes a playoff and maybe even wins a playoff game in Austin, then great. He's going to be number 2, number 3 on my list next year. And I have no issue saying that whatsoever. But for me, I want to see it one more time.
Gracious, yeah.